Hi there, it's Evelina back with another art update. It is the 10th of July and I am currently making these little paper roses. I have this beautiful handmade paper that I'm using. It doesn't really show up well on the cam, but I'm planning to use it for the new film that I am planning to film very soon. Kind of keeping the real versus artificial detail that I did in the Swedish film Alltid Där with the crown. So we'll see how that turns out, but yeah, I'm really excited about that one. So yeah, actually now while making it I kind of realized how much I love glue. Fun thing to say, but I have these glues. I'm kind of a glue snob, so I brought glue with me from Sweden. I am very good at fixing things. It's kind of a talent of mine to fix things, and yeah, it's kind of in the way that I think also with my art. I see the problems, and then when I fixed all of the problems, it's finished. It's when I stop seeing the problem. Sometimes, of course, you have to step back and just decide that it's done. But usually I just know that it's done when I stop seeing the problems and I see the piece for what it is. So with these glues, I have one quick glue, which is what I use for paper, like the paper roses and stuff like that. And then I have the stone glue, which is amazing, that I use for wood and all that kind of stuff. I also love glue guns. I really love working with glue guns. I mean, that is kind of obvious in some of my artworks. Especially, I've used them in all of my bronze sculptures. So I used it for the droplets in the, well, for droplets in all three. You know, with the birds when the water's coming off, with the candles dripping down, and with the colours dripping down. So yeah, it's an effect that I really enjoy, and I love the roughness and how quickly you can build something up with it and get the effect that you want. Especially sometimes just by itself, but a lot of times adding a bit of colour. So yeah, it's it's an effect that I really like. I think but with the glue gun I use it more for, I do use it to attach things, but I use it more to actually decorate and build up textures with it, and it's a process that I really enjoy, working quickly and seeing it take form, and yeah, I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of one of the reasons I think that my work sometimes do have this craft-like appearance, which I kind of found out that I'm not really worried about. I mean, I don't know, I've never been bothered with using materials in different ways. I think in some cases it works, in some cases it doesn't. I mean, for example, with the garden ball with the wings. I mean, the only reason that I started doing why I did that one was because I was challenged to make artworks without natural materials, and that was the first that came out of that one. Um, and yeah, and the small ones that came after, I kind of snuck in a little bit of natural materials, even though most of it was artificial. But yeah, I found both that I mean, the methods that I was using with the natural materials did not work with the plastic materials. It just plastic for me is very dead material. I admire artists like Carrara in the MA who can take something that is very plastic and very not ordinary, but yeah, everyday objects, and make them special, make them alive. I do not have that particular gift. Um, I do not see it in it. I do not see the potential in plastic objects. I see it in natural materials, which is what I found out, which is a good thing. Now I know that. Now I know the reason why I'm drawn to the natural objects. Find find the organic forms very appealing and very suggestive to my mind of what it could be. It's just why I especially like working with wood, driftwood, or just branches, because they are, you can do a lot with them, and I can see a lot of things that it could be. Yeah, which is also one of the reasons why I don't really use a lot of subtractive methods of sculpting, because it's not that if I were to use a block of marble, I would probably use a block of marble and then do something with it rather than carve something out of it. I see the potential in the forms and in the materials themselves. Obviously, I probably wouldn't use a block of marble. Thinking about the forms and the organic shapes, but yeah, I'm not afraid to use those kinds of materials, like metal and all these other artificial materials in combination with natural materials. I'm not afraid to do that. I'm very open to it, but it is the natural materials that started it all. It is, I think, the only exception to it would be the bird, the bird one. The bird came first with the branch sculpture, but I always knew that it would be something, something organic in there. But instead of taking like a finished branch work, I built my own. Yeah, and it kind of worked really well with the piece. So I'm not. I'm to find. So yeah, we kind of proved to me that I can find inspiration in those areas as well, and I'm not afraid to do that. It's just it comes more easily to me in the shape of natural objects. So yeah, we'll see what happens next, but I think, especially when you look at the sculptures that I have made, the more successful ones have been made with natural materials, especially the branch. My branch works. I love the bird sculpture that I made with branches. I also love the idea of the candle tree thing, with that one I feel that there's a lot more potential that I didn't really tap into, because well, the idea was to make 3 of them, and that one that I made was the smallest one, and then make 2 bigger ones. So I felt like I didn't really finish the idea, and I think it would have been better to have it in a bigger one, more candles, and so yeah, that's but yeah. So the natural materials is definitely going to be something that follows me with my sculptures. So that is very exciting. So yeah, look forward to that. That's my art update. Bye.